How is it going? Hi, guys. I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this day or night. I've been meaning to get out videos, but I've just been really busy. So we are going to be doing the Aries reading right now tonight. Um, so Spirit and I, the spirits and I, have pulled all of your cards here, Aries, and put them out in the table. So we'll get into your reading in just a moment. I did want to say, if anyone is celebrating certain winter for this season, happy holidays. Okay. And if you don't, that's okay too. But I just wanted to say that before I forgot. And yes, I will be taking, like I always do, one photo at the end of all of the cards, and I'll be posting it up on my Facebook in case you want to look at the picture in more detail or up close at a later time. If you're not watching the live, you can even pull it up while you watch or listen. All you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there to see the photo. And what else? Yes, so this is a timeless reading. So these next series of readings that I'm doing, I already did Sagittarius, of course, since the Sagittarius season still, and I already did the Capricorn video. So this time, instead of doing like a 2-week period, we're doing 6 weeks because of the holidays and my other work, responsibilities. I have been doing longer readings. Okay, so that's why we have an 18 cards in the in the middle, as opposed to normally I do 6. Okay, and then we still have your tarot confirmation cards that I use with another deck, and then what's on top of each deck. The top and the bottom of each deck, and then some oracle cards at the very end as well. Okay, so a little bit of a different setup than I have been doing, but it's always good to, do some different things. So when I said this reading is timeless, right? For instance, before or after the original intended time frame on the title. So this series of readings that I'm doing, it's from November 24th to January 2nd. So it's a 6-week period, okay? So each row here represents a week, right? So we're going back a little bit to November 24th or so, and then going forward until the current energies down here, and then the future. So for some of you guys, it could resonate, let's say 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future. Okay, it really depends, right? Since it is a general reading. And what is a general reading? It can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you. And what else was I going to say? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So let's get started. All right, I am going to do, since I recently moved, I haven't unpacked my sound bell yet. The bell, well, it is a bell, but it looks like a bowl, my sound bowl. So in the meantime, I have another kind of sound bell thing here. So it's not as loud, but it is just going to help us focus and ground for the reading and for you as well, to get some little healing energies. Okay. Deep breath in and out if you feel like it. Oops. Okay. I think that feels good. I was doing it with my eyes closed, and I think I hit the wood a couple of those times. So my bad about that. But yeah, let's get into your reading here, Aries. Fire sign Aries, the ram, right? Oh yes, that's what I forgot to say earlier. Getting too excited about your reading, is that this reading may resonate for you even if you are not a rising Aries or sun sign Aries or even moon sign Aries, or even if let's say you don't have your Aries in Venus. Okay, since we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our each individual birth chart. So that's why I always that's why I always encourage everyone, if they haven't already, gotten a free birth chart online to find out your other placements. So, because depending on what's going on in your life currently, and everyone's different, of course, you may resonate more with your moon sign or your rising sign or your sun sign, okay? Or even other different aspects of your chart. So I'll go ahead and call out your cards in your first, well, it's not a row, this is your first group of cards, right? So you have one and then you have two. So we'll start with your first grouping of cards here and then kind of go in order, if that makes sense for you guys. All right, so what do we have here? We have the Four of Staves, right side up, 10 of Cups, right side up, the Lovers, right side up, 8 of Sacred Circles, right side up, 2 of Cups in reverse, the Princess of Cups in reverse, the World, right side up, King of Sacred Circles in reverse, and the Ace of Sacred Circles in reverse, okay? And we're going to start with the ones in the center like I always do, and then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, okay, since we're using 2 different decks here, and then also your confirmation cards, okay? But yeah, so I believe I have it circled ahead of time already that this first row here is energy starting around November 24th. It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, right? It's not exact. And then the second row here, I'm just looking at the photo, the calendar, would be November 29th, that week or so. And then the third row here would be December 6th, okay, through the 12th that we just finished, kind of, right? Since today is the 13th, okay? So we'll start talking about that, and then when we get over here, I'll bring up the dates again just in case, okay? But again, nothing is exact, all right? So, oh yes, Aries, let's also talk about real quickly, which zodiac signs we have here in your reading, okay? So, depending on what you're looking at this reading for, you could be dealing with multiple people or just one person, or it could, if this reading isn't necessarily about you per se, it could be about the other person or people you're dealing with or your general environment situation. But that's why I do like to call out the zodiac signs that I see. As far as the major arcanas, I don't do the minor arcana just because it would take too long and just be way too many in this spread anyway. Excuse me. So what zodiac signs do we have here? We have Gemini, the Lovers. We have the World card, which is Aquarius, Scorpio energy, Leo energy, and Taurus energy, okay? And we'll talk about, well, I'll mention them too, but they're kind of in the second grouping over here. We also have Sagittarius energy. We have Leo energy again. We have Pisces energy. We have Scorpio energy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what did I say? Gemini, Leo twice, Scorpio twice, Taurus once, Aquarius once, Sagittarius once, Pisces twice. Okay. And also Aries, you showed up in your own reading as well. Okay, so that could mean something to you or maybe not. It could be that some of those zodiac signs are heavily in your own birth chart or the person that you're dealing with, their birth chart, or if it's multiple people, or it could just be as far as zodiac kind of general energies that are present in your world at this time, okay? But it also could be nothing at all, but I wanted to mention it before I forgot it. Okay, moving forward. Here we go, Aries. Your first card here in your reading is the Four of Staves in the right side up position, also known as the Four of Wands, okay, in the right side up position. So this is a really nice energy to start your reading off here with, and this talks about communications, celebrations, possible unions, okay, and this is in that first row the week of November 24th or so, okay, again, not exact, but this is really nice energy. You see this Egyptian couple, right, and they are talking to each other, and there's wine and cheese and grapes on the table in the background, and no one else is there, so it has kind of this like vulnerability kind of feeling to it as well, right, as far as their communication and what's going on here. But definitely a nice card to start your reading off here with, Aries, okay? And since this is happening, or we're talking about, depending, of course, when you're watching this reading, for November 24th, you're in the States, and if you happen to celebrate Thanksgiving, or even if you don't, it could be that there was some type of celebration, whether you know, partook in that celebration or not. It could have been more of a relaxed atmosphere, or even maybe you had time off from work, right? Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, or if it's none of those things and you don't live in the US, right? Then it could just be that there is this more vulnerability or open communication between you and someone else, okay, right? It could be multiple people, it could be two corporations, parties, etc. But really nice open energy here to start your reading off with. And then bam, right? What's your second card here, Aries? Beautiful. The 10 of Cups. Okay, so you go from the 4 of Staves to the 4 of Wands to the 10 of Cups, and you can't really ask for anything more than that. Okay, so really nice, beautiful completion energy, endings and new beginnings, right? Being emotionally fulfilled, emotionally happy, having all the 10 cups, right? So, the number 10 in tarot is like the completion number. So it could be that in that first week of November 24th, in your reading here, there could have been, for some of you guys, some type of leveling up in a relationship or a work situation, or with friends or family, or a project, whatever it may be, creative project. So moving to the next stages, or like even levels of commitment, okay? But again, really nice, beautiful energy in your first row here. And then we have your Gemini energy here, the Lovers, okay? So again, really nice, comfortable, happy energy. So what does this speak about? Not only romantic love, right, with this man and the woman here, right, but also unions, sacred unions, right, divinely guided, an equal give and take, higher vibrational love. So it could also be work partnerships. It could be a deeper level of commitment, or equal give and take with friends or family, or even if it's self-love, it could be more of that as well, okay? Or different parts of yourself, or, even integrating past lives, if that's something that you're into or you believe. It just really depends, since it is a general reading, right? It could be you're dealing with a Gemini around that time, where you were, or you still are, or there was some Gemini energy present. Speaking of that, I did post a separate, that's okay, a bunch of stuff just fell, more tarot cards. I posted a separate astrology notes video for this time frame, so you can check it out there. But I wanted to look back real quickly if we had any stuff going on with Gemini. Well, okay, so today, the day I'm filming this, is December 12th. We have a full moon in Gemini, but not till December 18th. So that would be more this row over here in the second grouping. But, for some of you guys, maybe you're feeling it weeks ahead of time, or again, you're dealing with some type of Gemini energy, or it means nothing at all. But just wanted to point that out when I saw it, okay? But yeah, when we're going forward here too, you have as your fourth card here, Aries, the 8 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So this is this really great energy about being open to learning new things, learning a skill, a trade, a craft, okay? And really stocking your abundance, okay? So what is abundance? It's not only money or wealth, but it's whatever you want to manifest in your life, okay? So you really see that energy present here, even in your second row in that second week, which I think I said was November 29th. Yeah, that was that second week of November 29th that we're starting on here. So, your first 4 cards are like super positive here, Aries, as far as your reading. And then, of course, we all have ups and downs, and sometimes we have blockages or challenges, right? So your fifth card here, you could look at it as a challenge or a blockage, is the Two of Cups in the reverse position, okay? In that week of November 29th or so, if that's how you're looking at this reading. But again, it is timeless. So it could be that you or another person or general environment situation, as far as going back to that union that we talked about before with the lovers, maybe somebody is questioning it, or maybe in the second week around November 29th, the week of November 29th, there could be not an equal give and take all of a sudden. Like maybe this sacred union, whatever it is, romantic, platonic, friends or family, or different parts of yourself that you're trying to integrate, maybe in this second week here, there's a little bit of a challenge or blockage as far as something not being equal all the way, or something about, I'm trying to think of the way to say it, something about like someone's emotional fulfillment isn't there, right? Because when we talk about cups in the tarot, okay, that's our emotions. So when it's right side up, just for reference, right, you see this couple here, and they are giving each other their cup and they're cheersing, and the cup is right side up. So that's the emotions, what makes you emotionally happy, content, fulfilled. So when it's in the reverse position, it could be saying in regards to this union that somebody wasn't emotionally happy or fulfilled in some way, or the balance of energy, the equal give and take that was there before, maybe is not there in that second week. Okay, but again, it will be different for everybody. But you know, it is just a challenge. It is a blockage, and it has something to do with maybe one party here, all right? If it's two people, one person, or if it's multiple people battling each other, or what, or not battling. Okay, or maybe somebody is, because I said that, but maybe somebody, one side of the party, however you find yourself, right, is has something to do with illusions here. With your next card, I'll show you the Princess of Cups in the reverse position, right? Somebody could be also not confident in themselves and their emotions in some way, and also like a little bit of stubborn energy of not wanting to perhaps move forward, or be open to looking at something from a different perspective, or be open to learning how they can change, or not change their emotions, but deal with them in a more way, something like this, right? The Princess of Cups in reverse position, which is your sixth card here. The card's right side up is like this Morgana kind of figure, and she the goddess of herbal magic, and she's at night, right, cutting the herbs that she needs for whatever she's working on, okay, whatever magic she's creating. And her cup is right side up, but the moon is in the background, and that's the past illusions. But it's also creative energy and also Pisces energy. Remember, you do have in your whole reading 2 other Pisces cards here, if not more. So it could be that there's a little bit of some Pisces energy here, you know, kind of identifying or pulling at those things I just already mentioned, that could be going on, okay? But whatever this blockage here or challenge that's happening for you, it doesn't seem to last very long here, Aries, because then as your 7th card, you have the World card in the right side up position, okay? And that's obviously this really fresh, beautiful energy, right? The world is yours to take. It's about new beginnings and endings, but it's carving something out of nothing. It's planting seeds for the future, but it's like literally you have all the possibilities here, okay? And this is more in that 3rd week, so that's, what did I say, December 6th or 7th, the week that we just kind of went through, depending on if you're watching this currently, okay? And so, you know, that is a fresh air kind of thing, a fresh breath of fresh air coming in here. And again, when we talk about the world, that is kind of that alchemy energy of, what did I say, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio energy. So maybe some of those energies are coming in, you know, more present in this past week here for you. Now, when we go back to the astrology real quickly, December, what did I say? December 7th, 6th. Well, that was right on December 4th. We had the total solar eclipse in Sagittarius and the new moon in Sagittarius. Neptune also went direct around this time, which is that Pisces energy. Yes. Okay, remember we were just saying Pisces with the Princess of Cups in the reverse position over here. Okay, and then I also said you have two other, if not more, Pisces energy throughout your reading. Okay, so that could have been a little bit of when there are cards that kind of mimic or reference, not perfectly, but a hint at the astrology. It could be more of a general unconscious energy or astrology note that is affecting not just an Aries reading, but multiple zodiac sign readings throughout this time frame. So we'll just have to kind of see as I go through the other signs if they show up again. But what else was I saying here? So yeah, December 6th. So we talked about Neptune direct. We talked about the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, the first quarter moon, and kind of like the beginning here could also be, well, yeah, technically, let's see. What is today? The 13th, yes. I keep saying 12, but it's the 13th. I lost a day. So today, Mars is officially out of Scorpio and moves into Sagittarius, since we're into Sagittarius season, right? We're still in Sagittarius season. So this third row was energy right here from December 6th through it could be for some of you guys, let me put this over. When you talk about the Scorpio energy, it could be just like clearing out of that Scorpio energy of Mars now moving into Sagittarius, okay? But, putting the signs aside, because I don't want to like confuse anybody, we'll just kind of focus on the cards here. This is your 8th card. I was like, I gotta count. This is the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, also known as the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. So when this comes in here, this is after the World card, right? The World that you had in the right side up position. A little bit of a hint of somebody possibly here feeling like they don't have any wisdom, or they're not confident in their wisdom that they would pass down to, let's say, a younger generation. It could also be that somebody here is denying a little bit of some spiritual downloads, enlightenment moments, revelational moments. Oh, yes, now I finally understand something, with it being in the reverse position. Could also be just a general blockage of not feeling abundant or confident in some way at the end of the last week, we just kind of went through. Now, the next card, which is your 9th card, is also kind of the same thing, but it also is this energy of, well, you kind of have it, I would say, in 3 cards here in this first group of cards. Okay, you have the 2 of Cups in reverse, the King of Sacred Circles or King of Pentacles we were just talking about in reverse, and then you have the Ace of Sacred Circles also in reverse. Okay, and there's this really small figure of a buffalo here, right? When the card is in the right side up position. I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the lighting here, but it's right over here by the drum. Okay, and so the buffalo, is this like powerful symbol of, courage and raw power and energy and size and taking up space. And in Native American culture, the buffalo is a very sacred animal, right? And so when this is in this reverse position here, and this is actually where we're going to talk about real quickly. Instead of having, normally I would have like 3 confirmation cards for each row. We're only doing 1 confirmation card for each group of cards, okay? But your confirmation card from another deck here is the 3 of Swords in the reverse position, all right? So Aries, this is really saying when it's putting together with everything that we've just talked about, it's like if you let any past hurt or betrayal energy or lower vibrational frequency energy of not doing what's in your highest good for yourself and others, or just burning yourself out or being exhausted in some way, or having more or having a lack of mental clarity and more confusion. That's what's going to kind of like, if we even just put it together with these two cards we were just talking about, if you let that take over the Three of Swords, okay, it's a warning, right? Because it's in reverse. So it's like you half of this, first group of cards is really positive. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards out of how many? 9. Okay, so 5 out of 9 being really positive here. But if you let any of this past betrayal, hurt, heartache, lower vibrational frequencies, or burning yourself out or getting exhausted, if you go back to that, then that's what's going to block your abundance. That's why the last 2 cards, the sacred circles or pentacles, right? They're the same thing, are in the reverse, because it's just kind of like saying, continue on your path here, Aries, and don't let, past stuff get to you, right? When we talk about also, the new year, right? Since this reading goes till January 2nd, okay? Again, not exact, but people talk about their New Year's resolutions, right? When we get close to December 31st and January 1st, January 2nd, right? So it's like, what do I want to let go of that was in the past? What do I want to, start changing for the better or whatever, right? So this is kind of like hinting at that energy as well at the end of the year, regardless of what you do or don't celebrate or where you are in the world. It's kind of like a general, feeling too. So that could be, affecting you as well at this time. But, before we go forward to your second group of cards here, I also want to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, okay, in relation to this first group, okay? So this is the Llewellyn deck with the one with the yellow border, and this is past energy, okay? Excuse me, that could be still lingering around and why certain cards have come out, okay? So what you had on the top of your deck was the Six of Cups in the right side up position, and what you had on the bottom of the deck was the High Priestess in the right side up position. So this talks about here, Aries, something to do with the past, right? Not like, yes, I said these 2 cards represent the past, but also the Six of Cups is that energy of dealing with a person from the past, issues from the past, a childhood nostalgia kind of energy, or looking at the world with a kind of like naive, childlike point of view where you don't, you might be, this is an example, it's not for everybody, but maybe when we talk about the Six of Cups, you're looking at the world just through like rose-colored glasses, right? You're only seeing the positive and not the negative, right? So that could be for some people, okay? And however you find yourself, right? When we talk about this Six of Cups with the High Priestess is all about intuition, going within, getting in touch with our emotions, right? So it could be that you started to do this in the recent past, get more in touch with your intuition and your emotions, or the other person or people, multiple people, or general environment situation, okay? But then there also, when we talk about the Six of Cups, it's also kind of hinting at the Two of Cups, right? There's these children, there's a boy and a girl, and they're giving each other fruit, okay? So remember, you had the Two of Cups in reverse here in your second row, but then you also have the Lovers in the right side up position in your first row. And so it's almost like hinting at this, I would say like past, past relationship whether again it's romantic or platonic or even with friends or family or even within yourself, like self-love, past issues of working with self-love or something like that. It could be that something wasn't all the way healed in the recent past. And so it's coming up again as you are in the more divinely guided union with the lovers in the right side up position that we talked about, right? An equal give and take. And so it could be that this is like a reoccurring thing that of course we all want, right? We all want an equal give and take, a reciprocity, feeling like, that there are, gosh, I can't even talk anymore. That whatever you're giving, the other person is giving back kind of the same amount of energy or time or etc. You know what I mean? So, this could really be why you want to get on the same page with somebody, right? Like giving the same amount of time and energy. Like you both understand each other. Going back to your very first card in the reading, the Four of Staves or Four of Wands, right? Having that vulnerability to be open and have the communication that is needed to get to a place of equal give and take and reciprocity, right? Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly, talk about these two things. These two cards, your past, right? What was on the top and the bottom of the Llewellyn deck here. But I also, before we get into your second grouping here, I want to talk about that you have, sorry, I got really quiet, just having a little bit of music. You have here, Aries, a couple of repeating cards. So anytime that happens, it's really Spirit's way of being like, pay extra attention to these cards or these messages, okay? So you have the Six of Cups twice. You have the High Priestess twice. Is that it? I think so. Yeah. Okay, yes. So two repeating cards. Okay, I'm tripping, sorry. There's so many cards. I'm like, I have to make sure. I'm not used to dealing with a big spread like this, but it's actually kind of fun. So just to see as a reference, right? One is past energy. Well, actually, they're both past energy because they're both from different decks, but they're both talking about past energy. So one is right side up and one is reverse, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But when this happens, when you see this message from Spirit, there's usually 72 cards in each tarot deck, so it's 1 in 72 chances, that it will come out again in the same reading. All right. So real quickly, just to go in a kind of different order with this next grouping, because I kind of already brought this card out, right? We have the Six of Cups in the reverse position, which was on the top of your other deck here, the one we use for the center. And then on the bottom of your deck, you have the Prince of Staves in the right side up position. So this is saying in the recent past, right? What is recent for you? It's different for everyone. I forgot to mention that earlier, right? It could be a couple of days ago, hours, minutes, months, years, etc., whatever it may be, or lifetimes, right? Or past lives, whatever. There's something going on here where you maybe didn't get to enjoy childhood as much in certain ways, and you had to grow up faster than you wanted to for some of you guys, right? Not everybody. But also, there's a little bit of a feeling of, maybe not trusting in the people that were supposed to have your back, the people that were supposed to be your teacher or your elder, okay? For some of you guys, right? So when you see this card in this deck, just for reference, you see this kind of like alchemist like dude, right, with the beard, and he's teaching this young kid in the background how to mix the potions and the science and the magic and all of that, right? But it's reverse. So it could be for some of you guys that somebody that was supposed to be your elder or have your back in some way, maybe didn't, or they didn't live up to your expectations in some way. And so, despite that, in the recent past, you kind of went and decided, you know what, I'm going to keep moving forward and I'm going to keep my mind open to learning new things and not just trust one teacher or one elder in the recent past. And I'm going to get in control of my emotions and move forward and have more than one teacher or mentor, etc. Okay, but work on your abundance and control your emotions with the Nile River in the background of this young Egyptian prince here. Okay, so when we talk about that real quickly with your second grouping of cards, which I will list right now, and we'll go in order through them, it kind of, hints at a little bit of the leveling up that we talked about in your first grouping with the Ten of Cups, right? And endings and new beginnings, also with your World card. So this could be in this second group of cards here, Aries, something that was going on or is going on, right? Since this is future, current energies more. Something that you maybe don't even know consciously. Maybe you know parts of this unconscious is in your unconscious and your dreams, and you're more in your sorry, turn it down. On your intuition energy that you're preparing for this leveling up in this really big way. And what's leveling up? It could be a new level of commitment or responsibility with something in a relationship and work and friends or family, with yourself, whatever you're currently working on or manifesting in your life, right? Because there is a lot of 9s and 10s coming up. Okay, so let me call out your cards before I forget. Okay, so you have 2 of Swords right side up. You have the 9 of Staves right side up. You have the Emperor, Aries energy right side up. You have the 5 of Sacred Circles right side up, or 5 of Pentacles right side up. You have the 10 of Swords in reverse. You have 6 of Swords in reverse. You have the Temperance card in the right side up position. You have the Strength card, Sagittarius energy with Temperance, the Strength card in the right side up position, that's Leo energy. And then you have the High Priestess again as your last card in the main center here. And that's that Pisces kind of Scorpio energy, depending on how you look at it, okay? So, yeah, there's a big decision that needs to be made here, Aries. There is you going into this feeling of asking the really important, hard questions in life, perhaps of, what do you really want? And why are you here on this earth, right? What is your soul mission? Maybe for some of you guys, not everybody, perhaps. Stepping into your power, owning your authority, your confidence coming through, and really trusting your intuition is like a general way I would sum up the second part of the reading here. Okay, so we'll get more into detail as we go into each card. But yeah, I mean, I really see some great energy. So real quickly, I'm looking at the date so I don't mess them up. This 4th row here, Aries, is, what did I say, December 13th, that's today, right? Going through the rest of this weekend is this 1st row here. The 2nd row in your second group of cards is December 20th through the 26th. And then the last row here would be December 27th through January 2nd, that week and weekend, okay? But again, it's not, it's just kind of an example, okay, of a way. So this is your 10th card. Yes, I had to make sure. This is the 2 of Swords in the right side up position here, Aries. Okay, so this is this card that talks about needing to make a decision, wanting to integrate your heart chakra, opening your heart chakra and integrating it along with your intellect. So you see this Japanese woman here, right? She's got her back to us, okay? But she traditionally has a blindfold on and she's holding two swords, okay? So she has the two swords across her body and she's not using her eyes. She's not using her intellect or her conscious mind. She's trying to use her subconscious mind, but integrate them together. She wants mental clarity, but she also wants to use her emotions in a healthy way. And so it could be that in this fourth week or fourth row, right? This week coming up that we've already started here, depending on when you're watching this, that you yourself here, Aries, or another person you're dealing with, or multiple people, a general environment situation is really, wanting to make the next step the right way. When I talk about the Two of Swords, it's a passive energy. It's not a momentum go kind of energy. It's like, well, okay, I'm meditating on this before I make the next step, okay? But it really does feel like an important process being started here if it didn't already start, a little bit of last week or weekend, okay? But now moving forward, your, was that 11th card is the Nine of Staves in the right side of position here, Aries. So here we have another 9, right? So 9 being almost 10, almost completion, a leveling up, a closing down of one chapter, a close of one door, and an opening of a new chapter, a new door, right? But normally when you see this Nine of Staves, also known as Nine of Wands energy, there's this African man or young boy, right? And he's going through some type of rite of passage and he's almost at the end, but he's really exhausted. So he's taking a break for a moment. He's kind of crouching down in the grass here, right? And so this would be a perfect time, right? Not only because of this card here, Aries, but because of the time of year that this is happening, right? Before New Year's, before the new year, okay? Even if you don't like to do New Year's resolutions, right? Before just a new calendar year starts, right? However you want to say it. Don't, because you may be trying to finalize a lot of things and plant new seeds that haven't started yet for the new year, the new calendar cycle. If you find yourself exhausted and maybe perhaps some of you guys want to give up certain things and just say, oh, this shit is too hard or this is too hard. I would say don't do that because you're so close, right? 9, almost 10. So hang in there in this coming week here, Aries, even if you feel like giving up because you're almost there. And then what do we have right after it? Your card, Aries, okay? The Emperor. And this is your 10, 11, 12th card. The Emperor. Okay, this is that Aries energy. And it's always a really good omen when you see your own card in your own reading. It doesn't always happen, right? And so when it comes, this Emperor is coming after the Nine of Staves. It's like, yes, I am going to step into my power. Yes, I am going to, use my leadership role in a positive way to help myself and others, right? And this could be happening more to the end of this week, perhaps for some. I am also going to balance my masculine and feminine energies that we all have inside of us in a more positive way, regardless of your gender or however you identify, right? Yes, I am also going to pull back my viewpoint, my lens, my perspective and see things from a higher, larger perspective, right? Because there's also that bird that's sitting on the top of his throne there, his staff, okay? So, I would say, again, if you get really exhausted and want to give up here, Aries, in this fourth week, coming into it, just hold on a little bit longer. Yes, don't burn yourself out. If you can take little breaks here and there, pace yourself, right? But don't completely give up because you're so close to stepping into that royal energy, the kingship energy, the emperor energy, your Aries energy, okay? So it could be even at the end of this week here, Aries, that you start to feel more like yourself in some way, too, if you're not necessarily stepping into a leadership role or leveling up in a relationship or at work or with friends or family. It could just be you start to feel more like yourself because before you were really working hard and burnt out a little bit. So, however you find yourself, it's still good stuff here. And one second, it's really quiet. Now, moving forward, what did I say? 12, 13. Yes. Your 13th car. Maybe you're getting a car. Maybe you have 13 cars. That would be amazing. No, I meant to say card. Sorry. Your 13th card is the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. Okay. So this is the energy in the 5th week that we're talking about here, next week for some of you guys, right? Depending on how you're looking at the reading. This energy of taking a break in the social world in some way, either if it's like physically stepping away from friends or family or your social circle or whatever it may be, or even if it's not a physical stepping away, an energetic stepping away, right? Because you see this one Native American hut that's like singled out from all the rest that are in the background. And then you see these two women, and one of the women is wearing some type of Native American headdress. So she's like a shaman or a healer, right? And the other woman is opening the hut for her to come out. So it's again that energy that I mentioned earlier in some way where you're starting to ask these really important questions here, Aries, of what was I put on this earth to do? Going inward, introspection, which is very common, right? When we talk about the seasons of winter, when it's colder outside, and especially during a pandemic for everyone, regardless of where you are, how warm or cold it is, right? Of going within. Unfortunately or fortunately, maybe this is our spiritual mission right now, right? To not be as social as far as the physical 3D world, right? And go kind of more into that spiritual inner world of yourself, okay? Also, when we talk about the Five of Sacred Circles or Five of Pentacles, it's also an energy of giving back to others and slowly stocking your abundance, right? So Pentacles is money, but it's not only money. I always say abundance isn't just money. It's whatever you want to manifest currently in your life, okay? So it's also giving back to others. So yes, you're part of a tribe and a community, but taking enough time for yourself. And if there is something that you feel you can give back to others that isn't money, you can help someone learn something or spend time with somebody or help them carry their groceries or an older person, whatever it may be. There's just this really nice energy here too of wanting to give back, okay, in a certain way. But I would say majority of this card, oh yes, right on the bell, or this energy with that card, it is really just asking the important questions and going within and embracing the winter time, regardless of the pandemic or not, kind of evaluating and getting ready for the new year, okay? Now your 14th card, right, you're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, your 14th card here, Aries, is so nice to see. It's the Ten of Swords, but it's in the reverse position. And that's how you want to see this card, right? So it's letting go of any anxiety, worry, overthinking, exhaustion, staying up late at night. Okay, you are letting that go, okay, because you can kind of see, which card was it? Well, it's the one right above it, duh. The Nine of Staves, right? When we were talking about exhausted in some way, almost at the end of your journey, maybe a little bit nervous or having mental anxiety about the future. Well, what's going to happen when I get to 10? I'm at 9. What's going to happen when I get to 10, right? So that was like kind of the energy of possibly this week that we're in. And then, and then going forward, you let that go next week, which is so good and so helpful for you because you're like, I don't need to do that because I'm going to be more in the present moment. And I'm not going to worry so much about what happened in the past. And I'm not going to freak out about, oh my God, what's going to happen in the future. I'm just going to deal with this moment that I've been given right here, right now. And that is so beautiful. And we all want to do that, but sometimes it's hard to actually do it. And we kind of go back and forth, right? But it really is this beautiful energy here, Aries, of you shedding old things that you don't need anymore, like mentally, or old belief systems or perspectives, okay? And you see it again in your 15th card, okay, which is the Six of Swords in the reverse position as well. Another swords card you want to see in this position because it means that in the recent past, and what is recent, you have to ask yourself that, could be a couple of days ago, months, years, lifetimes, etc. You were really trying to calm your mind. You were trying to have a more healthy mental health. Mental health. Well, yes, it is mental health, but the way I said it sounded funny for a second. You were really trying to in not have your emotions cloud your judgment in the past because maybe being a fire sign, right? We can get really passionate. I mean, every sign can, but even more so with the emotions, and fire signs tend to have a harder time with patience. And so maybe there was emotions that were coming up that you were impatient with yourself, your own emotions or other people's emotions or both. Okay, maybe just as an example, in the recent past, but now you're not doing that so much. You're learning to calm your emotions and process them in a healthy way so you can move forward, and yeah, just have more abundance. Okay. And it's so funny that I was talking about, because I didn't even realize, I was talking about patience, right? And then what is your next card? The Temperance card. That's a Sagittarius energy here. So Temperance is the patience, right? So she has one foot on the land and one foot in the water. This is the conscious, the subconscious, the 3D, the 5D, the alchemy, right? She's balancing some water between two bowls here, okay? Balancing the positive and the negative, the masculine and feminine, not saying masculine or feminine or positive or negative, just saying the yin and the yang kind of energy, the ebb and flow that we all experience, right? It's like you're stepping more into that towards that last week of December and that first week of January here, Aries. And this is really beautiful energy because you've really earned it. And it maybe wasn't always comfortable, right? But you're stepping into it and you're seeing it, how it benefits you to do those things, okay? And then again, with this Leo energy coming in here, you really have all three fire signs, right? Because you yourself are Aries, it's the Emperor, then you have Sagittarius, then you have Leo. So again, it could be you're dealing with some of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs predominantly in your chart, or they do, or it means nothing at all. But however you find it, you're stepping into your strength, your power, your confidence here. And it's so beautiful, right? And it's not just about, oh my God, I can pick up, as an example, right? I can wrestle a lion, I can pick up some heavy furniture. Well, it's more talking about, yes, that's cool too if you can do that, but don't wrestle a lion, okay? Wouldn't recommend it. But if you're not like a professional lion tamer, whatever. Anyway, you know what? Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? Hopefully that like it's more of the metaphor of the inner strength. Okay. Right. Having this timeless kind of energy of believing in yourself and saying, yes, maybe it was uncomfortable to go through these things. And I was really exhausted and I wanted to give up. But part of me maybe knew subconsciously, going back to temperance and conscious energy, that I knew that I was really strong, that I've done maybe not this particular thing in the past. Maybe I've never done it this way before, but I knew that I was strong, and I'm remembering it, and I'm resetting it and saying, okay, I've done so and so in the past, and this is different, but it's a new strength that I'm working on, and I'm stepping into it, and I'm owning it, and It's so beautiful here, Aries. So I really hope that some of this resonates for you. So always feel free to let me know if you want to in the comments down below, or otherwise, right? But we're not done yet because we still need to talk about your confirmation card really quickly and your last card, and then if you want your oracle cards as well. So your 18th card here, Aries. This is your second repeating card. Remember, you said you had 2 repeating cards. This is the High Priestess. Yay, there's that Pisces kind of Scorpio energy here as well, okay? And I'll put it alongside with your other one just so you can see, if you are watching and not listening, how the 2 artists kind of depict the cards. It's really interesting and pretty, okay? And so this is all about, again, stepping into your intuition, owning your power, being abundant, right? Growth, not being scared of your emotions, using them as an asset, okay? And planting seeds for the future, okay? Because she's holding a scroll here as well. Creative energy, Pisces energy, okay? So however you resonate with it, it is so beautiful here. And it's kind of like, again, going since this one, the one with the yellow border, the Llewellyn card, that's that past High Priestess energy, okay, from your first group of cards here. And then you have it in the present, current energies as your last 18th card in the center. So it's almost like I was saying before, that maybe you knew something in the past in some way, and now it's kind of coming together again for you, or reminding you to step into your power and trust your emotions and your intuition and what your gut is telling you about something here. Okay, so really, really beautiful here, Aries. Now, also I wanted to say, or not say, but show you, is your second confirmation card for this second group of cards is the Ace of Swords in the right side up position. How beautiful is that, right? Okay, so you have the hand of the divine coming in, holding the sword right up, the mental clarity. You've got the crown, the royalty. You've got the little branches from a reef, right, of celebrations around the crown. And when this air energy comes in here, and the mental clarity and the celebrations and the stepping into royalty and leadership and power and confidence, comes and confirms all these cards. It's like it's going to be worth it, right? Don't give up. Keep going forward, releasing things from the past. Ask the important questions. Why am I here? Am I fulfilling my soul mission? That kind of thing. But I would say that this is just a really beautiful reading. And also, you did have, I think I forgot to say it at the beginning, let me count. I think you have 7 major arcanas in your reading, which really talks about a lot of change. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I think the most I've ever seen in a reading is 8. But I usually do smaller sets or smaller cards per se. So 7, even out of 18, is still a lot of change happening. And again, this could be happening, even though the original time frame is till from November, end of November to January, 1st of January, 2nd of January. It could be felt, several months later, 6 months later, even a year later. It is different for everyone, but really nice. Okay, so real quickly before we go, because I know we're getting close to almost an hour, but that's kind of what I expected with these longer readings. Your last 2 cards, your oracle cards here. Your love oracle message, right? Whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family, or even self-love, is wedding, okay? And it says, this situation involves marriage. Okay, so if it is, you're watching this reading for romantic reasons, it could be a new level of commitment, not necessarily that you're getting married. Some of you could be, and if you are, that's awesome. But it could be you were dating someone and you were dating other people. Now you're dating exclusively, or if now you're moving in together, or now you're whatever it is. Okay, but if if you're not looking at this reading as far as romantic reasons, it could be a new level of commitment with friends or family or a work partnership, whatever it is, right? Partnerships, if they're well, um, with other people, right? When we go back to Lover's card, the divinely guided, higher vibrational love, the equal give and take with your two Six of Cups too, um, is really, well, you only have one Six of Cup, but no, wait, oh gosh. You have two Six of Cups and two High Priestesses. Yes. So two repeating cards. I got excited and thought there was another one, but no. It's okay. I think I'm just tired. More coffee, anybody? Yeah. So, whether you're leveling up in some way in a new level of friendship or commitment with friends or family, or even self-love, right? If you are accepting different parts of yourself or embracing your inner child in a healthy way, that is it's a new level, right? It's like going from 1 to 3 or 1, 2, 3, right? You're going up, however you want to see that. So I really see it as a positive message there, okay? Now, your last oracle card before I completely stop making any sense is this new sets of oracle cards that my dear friend got me. This is the Kalima Oracle deck, okay? And this card is the Mantra Shakti, okay? And you see this beautiful image here. So I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I will just briefly do a little bit because they're new cards to me and I'm not completely all the way familiar. I know a little bit of, myths and stories from Hindu culture, but I don't know everything. So I want to make sure that I say it right, okay? So when this card shows up, it talks about Shakti, which is also the female, it's like the female empowerment or female, the sacred feminine energy in Hindu culture, I would say, okay, if I had to. Hopefully that's right. But that's kind of how I would describe it. But anyway, it says, her voice creates and dissolves universes, right? Destruction, creation, energy. Her vibration within our souls creates our life path. Sorry. Yeah, wrong way. Commercial about Christmas, sorry. Okay, let me go back. The mantra Shakti, right? Her vibration within our souls creates our life path. Her voice creates and dissolves universes. You have the sacred power of voice. How shall you express it? To call for effective divine assistance in all ways. Do not allow negative thought or speech to undermine your inner spiritual connection. Claim your voice and your power to create. Listen for inner guidance and then set your course in motion. Though it may not yet be visible in your physical world, a new order is generating within the soul. A new order is generating within the soul. In time, it shall manifest in transformed physical circumstances. Okay, very nice and interesting. What else do we want to say here real quickly? The oracle indicates that you have the power of voice at your disposal. You have the power to speak your truth, to set yourself free, to choose what you say and how you say it. Your voice has the potential to profoundly affect your reality. This is not about controlling others. It's about claiming your power of choice and voice. Sound is powerful. When we talk about the sounds of the Sanskrit mantra, which I'm not going to do because last time I tried to do it, I don't know how well it went. But when we talk about, okay, so for instance, in English, right, when we talk about spelling bees or spelling, right, you're spelling a word or you're trying to spell a word. What is spelling a word or spelling talk about? Magic, right? Creating magic. I'm going to do a spell. So literally everything that comes out of your mouth is like some type of vibration or frequency to the universe about what you want, even if it's something bad. So that's something that, is definitely something to think about, and an interesting thing that we all need to be reminded of, okay, when we talk about mantras too. But back to this particular mantra about Shakti, female divine energy, right? I would say, what else does it say here? You have the divine birthright to choose how to deal with negativity. Okay, yes. You do not need to allow it to gain influence in your being. Allow others the choice to behave as they wish with the respect that each path is unique, and we cannot know how another needs to learn and grow through their own life journey. Yes. Um, the oracle brings a message from the Divine Mother. If you have need of something, ask for it. Use your voice in a way that helps you and empowers the divine to help you too. Um, okay, however, just like with working with Kali, working with her mantra is not for the faint of heart. When we set a boundary, it is natural that there will be a time when others attempt to cross it. We do not need to feel fearful of this, but rather be wise to it. The spiritual path is not something we walk occasionally. It is a way of being that is a relationship to the divine. We understand that there will be times when we will need to call on the protection of that relationship more so than others. This is not a burden to the divine, but a beautiful opportunity for us to realize how how loved we are. When we call upon the divine, we are always answered. Okay. And then it says, a little quick ritual you can do. It's like the mantra, which I'm not going to try to say. It says, sorry, hold on, guys. So when we're talking about finding your voice, it talks about rub across your neck, throat, and the top of your shoulders to bring awareness and release tension. Wiggle your shoulders. Can you breathe in and exhale more deeply now, too? Feel the sense of grounding and connection to the earth beneath you and to your body. Press your feet firmly into the floor. If you cannot do this physically for any reason, imagine you can do so energetically. Sense how your entire body is connected to the flow of your breath. Okay. So I will leave it at that because, like I said, I don't want to mess up the mantra, and it's very long, and yeah. So what I'll try to do in the description box below later is after the live, put a link to how you can possibly look this up online if you want to do it yourself. Okay, but this is the Kali Oracle. Okay, and this is Elena Fairchild. She is the author. And the card is the mantra Shakti, okay, if you want to look more into it. But other than that, that is your reading here, Aries. Thank you guys so much for your patience and for your views, of course, and your energy here, and for your likes and your subscriptions. It really does help the channel. When you like the video, not only does it tell me that you like it, but it tells YouTube's algorithm that you like it. So it's another free way to help share the video to others. And if you haven't already subscribed and you want to, it is free. It just notifies you when I put out new videos. You can click on the bell icon in the bottom right and just make sure that it's blue and it's active, and it'll let you know when I put out new videos. And also, yes, I will still take a photo of all these cards too, in case you want to see one photo of all the cards. I will put that in the description box below, instructions there as well after the live if you want to take a look. But other than that, you guys take care, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be getting on to Taurus and going through the regular order of the zodiac signs if you want to join me in other videos as well. But if not, that's okay too. So I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.